Xaivier, the International Muralist, and I am here with a special guest, Irving. And basically, I wanted to take the opportunity to paint with someone. As a public artist, I come across so many people and I invite them to paint with me, and magic happens. So I want to see if I can recreate that here today with my special guest. Hey. How are you? How are you feeling?
Doing well.
Good. Have you painted before?
Oh yeah, I remember we were painting together back in Cabarete a few weeks ago.
Oh, I guess it escaped my memory. All right, so today what we're gonna be doing, you can grab this one.
All right.
I'm gonna have you paint portions of the triangle. So you just open this up and we'll get started. So Irving, what I think is so cool about you is, first of all, what I find so interesting about you is how you're from. You're from where?
Dominican Republic.
From the Dominican Republic, and you know so much about U.S. culture, which is natural because we're in a globalized society, but there's so many nuances of the language and things that you know so well. Like, how is that? Why do you know so much?
I don't know. It's things like things that you pick up when you grow up, because I learned English very little, and I got to see like PBS Kids, and I had Cartoon Network in English for a while, and I had like all these channels, and I grew up watching Saturday morning cartoons in English, you know.
Which cartoon is your favorite?
Well, back in the day, I used to like Xaivier Ringer a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get started. So this paint in this little rectangle right here.
All right. Let's do that.
I'll take this for you.
Yep.
So tell me about yourself, Irving. Like, what do you like to do most? What do you do and the time passes and you don't even realize it?
Well, usually I spend time either reading or programming or playing video games.
Programming?
Yeah.
Programming what exactly?
Well, first of all, programming is what I make for a living. I build websites and applications and whatnot. And also, I do it like for fun. I look up challenges on the internet and just sit down and, you know, automate some things that you do usually, like things that you do on the computer, like regular stuff, and then I don't want to do them anymore, so I make a little program that solves the situation.
Oh, so you're about to be big time. Is this like gonna make you lots of money, or you just did it to make your life easier?
I did that to make my life easier, and that's it's fun for me to do that. And I just keep doing it all the time. You know, I code like little useless things too.
Yeah.
Like little tic-tac-toe games or whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah. It's just fun for me to try to figure out things and learn new things too.
How do you create a balance? Because like me, you're an entrepreneur. You are self-employed.
Yeah.
But I can get so caught up in my work. Like, what kind of things do you do to create a balance, to make sure you're not neglecting, I don't know, eating?
Yeah. Well, I don't eat much though.
Okay. Well, I guess you're fine.
I forget to sometimes. But yeah, no, I've been trying to keep a schedule. That's why I set up an office.
Okay.
So I go there and I'm only working there. I don't work from home anymore. And if I have too much work to do, what I do is I stay later in the office, but I don't take work home anymore. So that helps.
That's really smart. When I come into this office, I at least have to put a bra on, you know, to feel like I'm at work.
Yeah. I have a friend who did something like that for a while. He every time he got up, well, he had his home office and he dressed up, like shirt, tie, and whatever, and he closed his home office door. That's that. He's at work.
Exactly.
Nobody bothered him.
Yeah. Let's let this dry and let's move over to here.
Okay, good. This show from Discovery Kids called Art Attack.
Oh,
I used to see that as a kid. I've never been good at doing like manual stuff. So it was relaxing because everything he did was like, oh, it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, okay, so you can cut here. It doesn't have to be perfect.
It doesn't have to be perfect. So what you're gonna do is This
This
paint
not-
line,
yeah.
you just paint down.
Yay. And this,
Don't paint around that.
alright.
One of the lessons that I've learned that really helps me as an artist is that there's abundance in the world,
Mm-hmm.
right? So there is enough to go around for everybody, because before I really started living that ideology, I basically was like, oh my gosh, there's only room for one muralist and one African American person doing this. And then I realized, wait a minute, there's enough room for everybody to be who they are. Have you ever encountered something similar to that idea?
So this is the thing. So you have abundance and you have scarcity, and they both exist.
Yeah.
And those things are not always under your control.
Very
So the thing is, because of the times that we live in, that we have so much technology, so much food, so many resources available to us, then the scarcity mentality, as you say, doesn't help you, because there are so many new ways to work on things, to see things.
in unique ways, right?
Yeah, unique, different, and complementing each other. But then you have situations when you have true scarcity, you know, and then having a point of view, like, it's healthy most of the time, but sometimes not wanting to recognize the scarcity because you're trying to have a better outlook on life can be harmful. So in society we have those situations where we can't really know what the other person will do, and we opt for a safer option that is not optimal
For everybody.
for everybody. Yeah, and we end up playing it safe but actually losing some.
And so how does that relate to the scarcity issues?
So scarcity of opportunity, because you don't have all the information, and that actually constrains your options sometimes.
Okay.
But in others, like for instance being a muralist, you can find a niche, you can turn it around and create an opportunity or see an opportunity that was there.
Got it.
So that's what I mean, that there needs to be a balance, you know, of when you can actually look for another choice, you can play nice, you can be nice to everybody and choose the optimal thing, because you're giving something additional to the world, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were painting kids' school the other day, and everybody who went by, they were happy about the painting, about the mural.
Mm-hmm.
The kids were helping. Everybody knew you.
Mm-hmm.
They were greeting you and whatnot. So that makes the community happier. But if someone gave you a proposal that was a bit shady, then you wouldn't be feeling so good about doing that. Maybe you wouldn't do it. Maybe they would not pay you on time, or they would try to cheat you out of things.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a scarcity. In a sense, you have to recognize that you don't really have a choice to trust some people when they give you some signals.
Exactly. So I guess it's all about figuring out in what context and with whom and in what space you can actually be you fully.
Yeah. It's something about trust.
Yeah.
And sometimes not even trust, because sometimes it's even more complex than that, and that's why it's like an equilibrium, because that's where things stay, but it's not adequate because nobody really wants that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, Irving, that's a lot. That's a lot for my brain. So let's take it down a notch there. Irving, I'm so excited. You are here with me helping to paint my office. This is gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
So
it's been awesome so far.
Irving, tell me what's one thing that is cool about you or interesting that people would be surprised to know?
I think people, because of the way I speak, people will be surprised to know that I don't have a university degree. And I only studied English for like 1 year and something formally.
And how did you learn English so well? Did you watch, was it the cartoons?
In part. Part of it was constant practice. My parents actually learned in an institute, and they stopped speaking in Spanish to me for a few weeks, and that kick-started it. And then talking with friends.
That's amazing. I'm so proud of you being a self-starter and motivated.
Thank you. No, but actually, is people forget that the one who's learning is you, not the university, not the building.
Yeah.
And what the building gives you is a good environment for learning,
Mm-hmm.
but you can build that.
Yeah.
You can get close to the people that know more than you. You can be curious
Mm-hmm.
and you can be passionate. So if you have that, then you can learn anything.
I mean, I think you've said it all. Well, let's just finish painting this circle and I don't know, I'm hungry. I don't know about you. I think it's time for me to get some food. Well, guys, we have painted part of the mural. I'm so excited. Thank you, Irving, for joining me.
My pleasure.
And if you guys want to know more, you can follow me at the International Muralist via Instagram or this YouTube channel or Facebook. The International Muralist is my tag name there too. Thank you. Bye.